Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome to the Quick Count brought to you by Bodyslam.net. And the Quick Count, it's 30 minutes of fun-filled wrestling chat to end the week. We got the, at least for me, I got the holiday still moving on for Monday with Martin Luther King Day, so I got tomorrow off for work, thank God. But that's a nice night for a Monday Night Raw. But I am Ty, as always. Next to me, sorry, that way, is Justin Starr. I'm a little messed up today because my antenna from my computer broke, so I can't be on my computer screen. So I am on a phone. It's throwing me off a bit. But Matt in the chat saying let's go for the quick count. Appreciate it, man, as always. Love seeing you in the chat. And Justin, how are we doing on this fine Sunday?
We're doing great. It's a little snowy here on Long Island, New York. I just finished. Well, I didn't just finish. This morning I woke up, I got my coffee, and I was on Tom Talks Rubbish, a podcast by a swell lad who is awesome. I know you did your interview last week, so we both will be on the show. He told me we could be backlogged until like April. This guy just cooks interviews. So we might be waiting a while for our episodes to go live, but it was a fun time. And then we also, we got a DM, and we will be doing a collaboration next Sunday with Hitting the Turnbuckle Pod. We're going to be pretty much talking whatever happens this week in wrestling, and then we're going to be giving some Royal Rumble predictions. So we are looking forward to that show. It's like a 10 count media tour we're on right now, and it's basing out in England right now. We are going worldwide right now, and I love it.
Hey, we've always been a fan of our friends across the pond because
true.
Once upon a time we've been across the pond.
You're right.
Yeah, even for us, we have our interview out with Jasmine St. Clair. So make sure to check that out on the YouTube, on the socials. That was a fun one. Definitely, as it's titled, the unfiltered story time with Jasmine St. Clair. It was very fun, very funny. Definitely one of our first, I guess, really like PG-13 interviews. So
yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome. It definitely a little unfiltered, not safe to listen to with young children. I definitely recommend that episode be listened or watched at the age of 18 plus.
But yeah, it's always fun to have people on the podcast, man. Just fun listening to the stories, the history, the experience people's had, especially for Jasmine too. And she's a freaking connoisseur in business. She's got business ventures with everything, which is pretty freaking cool. She's definitely a go-getter. And speaking of go-getting, TNA has been go-getting the last few days. We had the premiere on AMC. We had Genesis last night. And I know people had some opinions on the premiere of AMC, but I think they had a solid freaking weekend. I think the AMC premiere was great. Love that it started off with the Hardys and our boys, the Righteous, in there coming in. Dutch spent no time laying waste to Matt Hardy, and also Vincent putting the lock in Jeff's ear loved it so much. It was great. But yeah, I think they went the route, and we'll get into it just now. I think they went the route of surprise factor, introductions to new characters for a new era, and I didn't hate it. How did you feel about that initial episode on AMC?
The initial episode caught a lot of flack on social media. It's mixed because I did enjoy it. I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy it, but do I think it could have been a lot better? Should they have reached for the stars when they had the opportunity? Yeah. So I'm fine with how it went, but I really think like all eyes were on TNA to see what they were going to pull out, man. And the fact that they had, I think, 3 matches, I think it was just 3 matches. There was a lot of the camera cuts were a little funky to me. I don't know why. Like, they showed the content creators, which I love. They showed Wheezy, they showed Con Man, they showed all of them that were there. But they should have moved them to not the hard cam side. Like they showed them, and it was just an empty arena behind them. Which, I mean, if you're gonna do that, just zoom in, do something, because it was just weird. Like I don't think I've ever seen that pretty much on a live television show where they're just showing like the first two rows of people and then just it empty behind them. Like just for the 5 minutes that you were not, it was like 30 seconds, just move them to the other side. That's all you had to do. And it would have been fine. We'll get into Genesis, the camera cuts. I still had a little bit of an issue with. I think the cameras themselves, I thought they could have used some better cameras. I don't know if WWE could have helped them out with production wise, but Genesis definitely was a step in the right direction. The debut for me was a little lackluster. Sure, we had Daria Ray being, she's now the suit. She's pretty much the hard ass to Santino's funniness. And then she brings in Elena Black, which is huge for them for the Knockouts division. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of upset we didn't see Bear Bronson. He was just fighting for a number one contendership to fight Frankie Kazarian, and he did, and now he just wasn't even there. So a lot of things that I wish happened that didn't, but I'm not gonna go ape about what I saw because that's just not fair.
Yeah, I think this was a kind of a setup for what to expect on AMC, and I liked bringing Daria Ray in. I liked Elena Black. Maybe we get a Mandy Rose coming to TNA. Who knows if she wants to come back into the wrestling world? We've seen videos on social media of Elena and Mandy kind of sparring a bit in the wrestling ring in the cage. So maybe that's to come. But we had Mike Santana and Frankie Kazarian tear the house down 2 separate days apart from each other, and respectfully they made the right decision to put the title back on Mike Santana. He deserves it. I mean, the crowd's behind him. He is Mr. TNA in my opinion right now. But then he's also like getting to see AJ, and we saw him with a lot of moments, especially with Frankie Kazarian staring at the championship. So like, what does that mean? Does AJ want another title shot? Does he want to be TNA champion again? Like, that would be cool to have that crossover. So the speculations that are there is exciting. We got to see Joe Hendry come back. I think he wrestled both nights, right? He wrestled the Triple Threat, right, on Genesis. Or was that the debut of ANC? I'm blank. I think I'm meshing the two together. I think he wrestled twice, didn't he?
He wrestled in the Triple Threat.
Yeah.
And no, I think that was it.
That was it. Okay.
Yeah, because there was only 3 matches.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they teased Henry at the
yes, because of the visa issue for Leon Slater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we can also we'll dive into a little bit. But I wanted to know what your opinions were on AJ Styles starting off the show on the debut episode on AMC. And then obviously I thought it was a little lackluster, to be honest with you. But then seeing him stare down the title with Frankie Kazarian, that got my mind going.
Yeah, it's just, I feel like they could have pulled the trigger on like an impromptu match against someone for AJ on the premiere. To me, like, especially when we were there at Slammiversary, like, you're gonna bring him there, like, make him do a match, man. He's got plenty in the tank. He's I'm not gonna say he's gonna get injured, right? It could happen, but the dude has been pulling insane matches with Dragon Lee as his tag partner, and he's been coming out fine. I think they know how to protect himself and his fellow wrestlers. He's been in the game for so long. But I just wish they would have added him as a match in some sort of capacity. I liked him hyping it up, right? He came out, hyped the crowd up. Why wouldn't you be hyped out? We got to hear it at Slammiversary, the I Am, the original theme song of AJ Styles. But I didn't hate it. I mean, like I said, I am someone who had moments with TNA where I just couldn't watch it. Like, I didn't even care about it, and then really enjoyed it, the Christian Cage era. But to me, like, I'm taking more like open kind of an open kind of a mind with how this TNA and IMC is going to be, because they have a lot riding on this. This is their chance to step up and really shine. So I'm hoping this episode, like I said, was just a kind of, here's what's to come. This is the initial, send off. I know it's not as, badass as that SmackDown was, the first 3-hour SmackDown of the year, but we're gonna, pull the stops. And Genesis kind of to me proved that. So I'm excited where this is gonna go. We have Dolph Ziggler still gonna call his shot. Well, Nick Nemeth, sorry, still trying to call his shot. He almost did at Genesis, but didn't. So I said I'm keeping an open mind for this. I think TNA is gonna step up. I really think
Yeah,
they are.
yeah. AJ, I feel like is definitely going to have at least one match in TNA this year for his retirement year.
Yeah.
I like that they teased it. They're going to have to bring him back more now because he eyed down Frankie Kazarian in the title. Now the title's not even with Frankie Kazarian. He told Mike Santana to go get the title, and he did, and they dapped up. So I don't know if we're going to see him soon. I think he's probably going to disappear for a little bit, and then he'll just reappear again, and then hopefully start, a small storyline towards a future match on TNA. But I was fine with the AJ Styles appearance. People were saying, wow, WWE got Leon Slater in England and TNA got AJ Styles for all of 5 minutes. And it screwed TNA. It really did. He was supposed to defend the X Division title. He didn't show up on the premiere episode. So, I mean, we've been saying it for a while, but I think it's the worst kept secret that Leon Slater, once that contract is up, he's going to WWE.
Oh yeah, 100%. Why wouldn't you? Especially if WWE's going to throw him the bag. Like they kind of probably like, oh look, he's in his home country. Let him wrestle for the United States Championship against Carmelo Hayes. That match was a freaking banger. People can't believe the chemistry of those two, and it's the first time they've ever wrestled. Which it was so much fun watching that match. That dude's got sky's the limit for his future, especially within WWE. And it just shows that, we've talked about this, that kind of WWE takes the winning edge of this partnership, and they did, right? I mean, I wonder if WWE gave them money to take one of their key components of the weekend away, which I feel like there should have been some, compensation. I know they got Joe Hendry back.
Joe Hendry, right. Yeah,
but,
I forgot about that.
mean, let's be realistic. Joe Hendry is, a big TNA name now in WWE, but Leon Slater is their X Division champion, the youngest in charge. This dude could carry TNA to the future if WWE doesn't poach him, which, as you just mentioned, Justin, they are. What they do with Joe Hendry? They made him wrestle at WrestleMania against Randy Orton. They kept bringing him in for random things in NXT on the main roster. Look at him now. Leon Slater wrestling at Saturday Night's Main Event. He's fighting for the NXT championship against Obafemi. He's wrestling for the United States championship, Carmelo Hayes. He's not just wrestling random matches. He's wrestling for championships in WWE. So that's that's the writing on the wall in itself right there. And I hope that TNA kind of gets more aware of this happening. Maybe they are. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they just want the help and the light shine on them more with this partnership, which it is happening. It is working. But they are going to lose some of their best guys.
Yeah, they definitely are. And, it was announced on Denise Salcedo's show, our friends of the show, The Righteous, Vincent and Dutch, they went on her show, and she pretty much asked, what's going on with The Righteous and TNA, and are you guys sticking around? And they're sticking around. They signed a contract with TNA Wrestling. They are there to stay. I don't know how long the contract is for, but I'm so happy for them. And obviously just seeing the match with the Hardys last night on Genesis, they just couldn't be happier. And the fact that, they looked up to the Hardys, we know that. We've discussed it with them that they've looked up to the Hardys. Just super pumped for them. And now that they are now officially members of TNA, they can jump to NXT whenever they want. Well, if they're wanted, which they should be. But hey, maybe I'll get my dream of them and Tatum Paxley against the Culling one time. But who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued to how their story is going to move forward with the Hardys, right? They said that Dutch took the mic at the end of the match and said, this is what we wanted, handed them back the championships. I'm curious to know if they're trying to still get on the good graces, if they're trying to sway the Hardys into being one of the many. And I can't wait to see that. I would love that, right? We've seen in the past Matt Hardy with Bray Wyatt. So, I mean, how epic would it be if the Hardys became righteous? and joined them for a bit, and turned on the fans and became this entity with them. And I would love that. That would be so cool. And like even seeing them, like, because they're one of the many, and Vincent and Dutch are the leaders, just them handing the tag titles to them as their leaders would be epic. I don't know. I'm just speculating things. Obviously, what I say probably is not going to happen, but it's cool to think about, because they left so much on the table with how they ended that match, and it's got me very intrigued. So props to them, because they do love doing this stuff. They are very creative storytellers, and when we interviewed them, they love to piecemeal and give little hints and tease. They don't want to tell the full story, and they're doing it the right way. So I can't wait to see how else that little that feud or that partnership or wherever that story goes between the Hardys and them.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to bring out a darker side of the Hardys, and I mean, I hope Dutch is all right, because that back body drop that he missed onto the floor, that looked like it hurt like a bitch. So I hope he's icing or heating his back today, because my God. But yeah, just Dutch taking the mic. It kind of looked like the finish was Vincent sacrificing himself in a way. I don't know if it looked that way to you.
It did.
But it kind of like after he took the twist of fate, he kind of just like, I don't know, he just like laid there and he like accepted the swanton in a way.
Yeah.
And then obviously you had Dutch saying exactly what you just said. This is what we wanted, and just started laughing. And then handing the titles to the Hardys and walking away. It's like, all right, like that was like step one of the plan. What's next? And like you said, I can't wait to see what they have planned. I can't wait.
Yeah, I don't think the TNA fans know what they're really getting with the Righteous yet. They're in store for a fun ride. The stories that they're going to bring are going to feed families, in my opinion, and I can't wait for that. And also, we touched about it a little bit before, you mentioned it, Daria Ray as the kind of the yin and the yang with Santino, and I love it. Like I loved her on WWE as the suit in WWE. Now she's the suit in TNA, and she just brings that nice element. She takes no shit. She wants to, she said, this is a business. We're doing what's best for business, right? She's kind of taking, what we've seen in the past with WWE and making it her own. And, she's putting her stamp on TNA. And I love that stuff. I love when you have, two butting heads that are trying to run a brand, because it's nice, because you don't know what to expect. You don't know where there's going to be a swerve. That's why we got Nick Nemeth as the special guest referee for Genesis, because that was her decision to throw him in that. And we all were expecting, when's the man going to call his shot? And he tried to, right? We almost had it happen. But I think they want Nick Nemeth to have that title eventually again. They're kind of playing it smart, but they also can't take the title that quickly away from Santana, because they did that already. Let the man flourish a bit. I don't know how long Nemeth has with the call your shot. I don't know if it expires or not. I'm not that well versed in that gimmick, but I'm curious to see how that plays out as well. I just think we have so many, top contenders and top superstars in TNA that are going to start trying to gun for that championship, and Mike Santana is just going to put on clinics with all of them.
Number one, whenever Nick Nemeth can give like a tribute to Shawn Michaels, I feel like he always takes that moment like that. His ring attire was Shawn Michaels to a T. Like that was definitely a tribute and a shout out to the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. And then as for Daria Ray, like I do like that she kind of, like you said, like the authority figure. Like she came out while they were doing they usually do those predictions where Tommy Dreamer and all the producers come out. She's like, what is this? And I kind of agree with her on that point, because like, sure, it's cool to see Tommy. It's cool to see, the busted open guys and everything. You have LaGreca, and usually Bully Ray would be out there, but he was at commentary. And it's like, all right, like why, like truthfully, like love Dreamer, but why are you giving like your prediction when you're the producer? Like everyone should be smart enough to know that. Yeah. And Daria's like, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Why are we doing that? And I love that side, because I hope we eventually do have a meeting of like Team Daria versus Team Santino. And I feel like that could eventually come to where if Team Santino loses, Santino's out of a job or something like that, or out of power, which that's definitely a story and that I would love to see progress. And then I just wanted to bring up another thing which irked me from the debut. Why are we bringing out Perez Hilton?
Oh, I don't know. I hated that too.
Why are we bringing out Perez Hilton, my guy? Like,
I
I thought that guy was like, I don't want to say like dead, but I remember like him having a blog like when we were in like middle school.
Yeah, literally.
And then I don't know why that was like their big attraction, because that whole segment was cringeworthy to me.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was really bad. That was very cringeworthy. And then the fact that obviously we found out why the Inspiration lost the titles, they are now free agents.
Yeah,
but,
I kind of want to, before you keep going, I kind of want to talk back to what you were saying with Daria Ray, kind of with Santino. Tom, what up? As we spoke earlier in the pod, Justin and I both had interviews with Tom. The man is great. He's an amazing interviewer. Go on YouTube, check out his content. He's got tons of amazing interviews. The man is awesome. We had such a fun time. We have individual episodes coming out in the near future. It was a lot of fun. Thank you again for having both of us on. It was a blast.
Yeah, shout out to Tom Talks Rubbish. Go give him a subscribe. It takes 2 seconds on YouTube. Right there at Tom Talks Rubbish. The guy has interviews with people that you couldn't even think of. Like, I was just scrolling through earlier, and I texted Ty. I was like, "Holy crap!" Like he's interviewed Chris Van Vliet. He had like Robbie Fox from Barstool. He's had a bunch of different names that you couldn't even imagine. And he's not kidding. He's done like 250 something episodes, and they've all been separate interviews. So that's just incredible. So, Tom, keep up the great work, my man. Thank you for having me on the show this morning.
Thanks for jumping in too.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, and so I'm curious to know how that's going to affect NXT as well, because right, we already have Ariana Grace, who is Santino's daughter, already against him with her boyfriend Lorenzo Stacks. So could they team with Daria and kind of screw over Santino? Like, I think there's more implications of this signing, not just on the TNA side, but also on the NXT side. So I'm very excited to see how she kind of breaks the mold into the NXT crossover that they have with TNA.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. And the sky's the limit, because obviously you still have Stone. My God, what's his name? The guy with Ava, who's Robbie Stone, Robert Stone.
Yeah, Robert Stone.
Yeah, but you have him with, you have him there kind of in a way being like I don't want to say the leader of the invasion, but who knows? Like, maybe he's with Daria. I don't know. There's a lot that can happen with that whole storyline, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, and then going forward with the Inspiration, aka the Iconics, I was so bummed, right? I messaged you. I was like, what the actual F is going on? And you sent me the message. They are not renewing with TNA, which now makes sense. Could they go back to WWE? But to my eyes, unfortunately, like, they're not on the level of what they're producing for the women's tag team division right now in WWE. Because the teams right now, the champions, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. Then you have the Kabuki Warriors as challengers. You have Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss as challengers. You have Lash Legend and Nia Jax as challengers. Like, you have Bayley and you have Lyra Valkyria. Those women themselves are the top tier of what WWE has to offer. And would the Iconics really, kind of fit in that mold? And unfortunately, I don't think so.
Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful was all over the contract not being renewed, and that other major companies have interest with them. Sean Spears instantly like quote tweeted something and gave like a winky emoji. Obviously, Sean would love to have his wife with him in WWE. I think they could. I mean, I don't know if they would necessarily go straight to the main roster, but they can start off in NXT. They can run in NXT. They can go against Sol Ruka and Zarya. I would love to see that. And then just a little stint down there, and then go up to the main roster. I mean, sure, like, they've been tag team champions before. We've seen it. I mean, I would like to see it. I'd rather see them, truthfully, than a reunion of the Bellas.
Oh, I agree. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is like the way they're booking the current women's tag team division, it's the main eventers. It's not, mid carders, right? It's not when the Iconics were tag team champions for the women. It wasn't, the Rhea Ripleys, the Io Skies, the Alexa Blisses, the Charlotte Flairs, the Baileys. It wasn't that. It wasn't. You did have a quick stint of, I guess it was Bailey and Alexa Bliss. I mean, sorry, Sasha Banks and Bailey, but other than that, it really wasn't like the top creme of the creme warriors of the women's division. And could they, make them as the Chelsea Greens? Sure. But if they're trying to, keep the main event lines clear for Stephanie Vaquer, for Raquel Rodriguez, for Liv Morgan, you have to do something with those other main women on Raw. And it's the same thing with the women on SmackDown. If Jade Cargill is going to, hold that title hostage, what do you do with them? You're going to have them in the tag division. And if you play that Chelsea Green role with the Iconics or the Inspiration, they can't run away from these teams forever. And that's the part that kind of like, takes me out of it. If they were to be back in WWE and they put them on the main roster, how do they win those tag titles? And it seems like legit.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But yeah, I mean, I could see it. But it would be interesting. Other than that, what would you give? Because we do have 2 minutes left for the weekend. What would you grade TNA's overall weekend from the debut to Genesis? Are you tuning in next Thursday? Like, did they hook you enough with what they did?
Am I ranking it like out of 5 out of 10? Just
Yeah,
curious.
out of 10.
Okay, I would give it like a 7, 6.5, 7. I think there's things they can improve on. Obviously, there was a lot they can improve on, but yeah, I'm definitely tuning in next Thursday. I'm excited to see where these storylines go. I'm excited to see what the Righteous have cooked up for the Hardys. I want to see how Daria is going to start, kind of inching her way over Santino. I want to see Mike Santana. I can't wait to see how he carries his championship. Who's his next contender going to be? Especially with Dick Nemeth just waiting, in the background to call his shot. So I am intrigued. I am kind of the Elegance brand just is so cringe to me. I hope they lose those championships. I hate Mr. Elegance, but maybe that's the reason. I mean, it's working. If they want people to freaking hate that whole group, it's working on me because I can't stand them. But yeah, I'm definitely intrigued. I'm definitely going to be tuning in Thursday. So TNA has me in this moment to be intrigued to see what they're doing. So yes.
Muted. I think the weekend could have been a lot better, but I'm still going to. I'm not out. I'll put it that way. I'm definitely not out. And we'll see where they build, man. There's a lot of potential, and I'm gonna hope that the potential gives us something that we're really looking for. But with that said, this is the quick count. We do 30 minutes here, and we are done. So thank you all for tuning in. This is double duty for me. Thank you, Tom. I spoke to you earlier this morning, so I'm back in the studio again today. But yeah, thank you all. Let's ring the bell because this quick count is over. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Go watch some football. I think CJ Stroud has thrown like 6 interceptions already against the Patriots. And we will see you all back here on Wednesday night for the 10 count. And until then, it is Ty, it is J Star, and we are out.